was eating some applesauce and I was looking at the ingredients. I was like, oh wow, organic apple is the only ingredient. So like, I'm basically eating an apple right now. Like, I'm so healthy. And then I was like, wait, how is me eating one apple healthy? Like, what is this one apple doing to my body that is just gonna, I eat this apple and it's going in and fixing up and restoring anything in my body? I'm like, I know that I also have this chocolate bar in my pantry that I very well plan on eating. So how is this one pouch of applesauce healthy? And then I was like, wait, okay. So no, I'm not a healthy eater, but I can be a healthy eater. How can I be a healthy eater if I start to incorporate more healthy food to my diet than junk food, right? If the health overpowers the junk food. So instead of having a plate of fried chicken with French fries and, you know, what you get from a fast food restaurant, and then adding 2 broccolis to that plate, you would have a plate of baked chicken over rice with a lot of broccoli and maybe even some corn or whatever you like to eat, you know, that's healthy. Okay, if I'm starting to do that on a consistent basis, then you can consider me a healthy person. And if I'm subtracting like fast food and all this unhealthy junky food for my diet, my body now starts to reap the benefits, right? It's no longer holding on to all that fatty cholesterol, all those lipids and everything bad clogging up my arteries, right? Because I'm eating healthy on a consistent basis. It became a habit. Now I'm gonna slim down, you know, you're gonna start to reap the benefits. You're gonna see it in your body. And as I was understanding that, that makes sense. God helped me to understand our walk as Christians in that same exact manner. He was like, exactly, you don't get to just call yourself a Christian and say you know God. Calling yourself a Christian alone, there's so many Christians that have not experienced the fullness of God in their lives because that's not the only thing. This applesauce pouch is not the only thing that's going to make me a healthy eater. Calling yourself a Christian or watching a sermon on 2x speed is not the only thing that's going to help you know God. There's other levels to it that have to overpower the things that you're feeding your flesh. So the junk food, let that represent you feeding your flesh, and let the healthy food represent you feeding your spirit. The healthy food has to overpower the junk food for you to be a healthy eater, right? The healthy food has to overpower the spirit, has to overpower the flesh for you to know the fullness of God and see that play out in your life, for you to reap the benefits of that. So since you're feeding your spirit so much healthy food, now your body's no longer clogged up, right? Now you're no longer hurting and broken in those areas because you're allowing God to come in and restore them. You're not holding on to the bad anymore because you're getting filled up on the real, on the truth, on something that's sustaining. Healthy food produces longevity. It is nutrients to your body, whereas junk food just clogs up your body, but it tastes good, huh? Same thing with feeding your flesh. It feels good. It's very short term. Tastes good. I can eat junk food my whole life and it's going to lead me to death. Same thing with, that just got deep, but that's the truth. Same thing with feeding your flesh. It's going to lead to death. Feeding your spirit is going to lead to life. And so that's what God is saying. What you do to feed your spirit has to overpower what you do to feed your flesh. So instead of watching this sermon on 2x speed, you're spending time in the word as well. Instead of being on your phone 8 hours a day, maybe you're spending a little bit more time in quiet time with God, spending time in prayer and worship. And as you're feeding your spirit, you will now start to reap the benefits. And now you can consider yourself whole. Over time, you become whole. Just like as I slowly start to incorporate more healthy food, over time my body is getting more healthy. As I slowly start to feed my spirit, over time I'm getting more whole, because as I feed my spirit, I'm getting full on the fullness of God. God is fulfilling. He's sustaining. So yes, that was what I learned today off of this one pouch of applesauce that I knew I had to share. Just as this applesauce pouch is actually really, you see I sucked it clean. Feeding your spirit is actually pretty good too. It's not torture. It's not torture. It's actually pretty fun. But it just becomes a habit over time. It's not something, I can't go cold turkey and 360 my diet. No, I'm going to have to do that over time. And that's the same thing you do when you're feeding your spirit. You do it over time, what you can do.